with the framework that I share, which I talk about how we can show up and have a misconnection, which is that we didn't share empathy, we didn't create the change we wanted to make, or we can get enmeshed. And with enmeshment,
Hmm.
it's ultimately, it's not true. It's not a true way of showing up because it's not sustainable for the long haul. These are the scenarios that ultimately explode or implode, and it can sometimes happen over a short time, or can take a really long time. But my point being, it is not a true and generous way. And so I offer up a way of showing up called being a compassionate witness, which
Yes,
is that
yes.
we bring all of that best part of ourself, and we do it in a way that's sustainable and true for the long haul. And that we're
Yeah,
not responding in the moment, like over responding, over committing to something we can't keep up.
yeah. And you give some great examples to kind of help people realize that they need to have good boundaries,
Correct.
because because loving, empathic people often want to give it all, give everything they can. Uh, Bring the homeless person home with them,
Yes.
or
I have done all these things. Yes.
you've done.
That's how
That's
I
how.
know.
That's how you know, and you can
That's how
write
I
some
know. Yeah.
great guidelines. Like no, that's not appropriate. If you want them to have a home, there's a different volunteer organization that you need to get involved with called Habitat for Humanity.
Mhm.
And you give a number of examples, saying
Mhm.
that's not what this organization is about. What we're about is getting a person through a crisis.
Yep.
And I think you said a crisis typically is maybe 6 to 8 weeks, kind of defined.
Correct. At which point, we return to our body will do everything to return to a homeostasis, or a new normal. And so during a crisis period, we actually have an opportunity to create change. And we definitely know people who've had crises in their life, and they'll come out of it and say, that made me a better person. We also know people in our life who've experienced crises, and then they've had less healthy coping mechanisms come in, and their new normal maybe doesn't have them quite at the place that they were before. But the point being is that crisis does not last forever, and that we can do our best by showing up for someone who's in crisis, by sitting with them in that compassionate witness stance and
Yes.
observing and witnessing their journey. Perhaps we're resourceful, but that's not even required. Like, the real requirement and gift we give to people is our presence, and that capacity to, I refer to it as love, but it's a space of non-judgmentally holding someone's experience and being there with them while they sort out what their path is. Because, man, only they will wake up with the consequences of whatever that choice is, not us. So it really needs to be on them to sort it out.